Hello and welcome to another episode of the Tori Creates podcast, episode 58. My name is Tori or Victoria, the mastermind behind the crazy, and thank you for joining me today. Before we jump into this lovely episode on the 1st of January 2022, what? But before we jump into it, let me tell you where you can find me on the internet. You can find me on Instagram as Tori Schaffner. You can find me on Ravelry as lilwestie, Lilwestie. All my projects are updated there for my knitting. You can find show notes on the blog, woolymastodon.wordpress.com. I am on Facebook, I'm just not as active there. And of course you can find me here on YouTube. Like I said, it is January 1st, Saturday, 2022. Welcome to the new year. I hope it brings many blessings to everyone. And it's crazy. We're already here. I always get that feeling of, I don't know about you, but I always get that feeling of like new beginnings, even though new beginnings always used to feel like August or September when school started. But now that I haven't been in school for a while, I kind of get why a lot of people view January as new beginnings, because I feel like there's all this hope, although maybe not going into 2022 after last year's. But anyway, I feel like there's all this hope. I'm not really a goal setter. I don't think I'm going to set any goals this year because I don't do goals. I just try to do the best I can. But yeah, 2022, a new year. Hopefully it's a good one. With that, I've got a few things to show you today. It's been a couple weeks since the last time we podcasted. Christmas happened and New Year's Eve happened. So I had some solid time off because I actually got vacation over Christmas, which was absolutely insane. I won't get that for a few years now, but that was really cool. So I have a few things to show you and I have a few finished objects. Apologize if you can hear my neighbor's music. Judging by past podcasts, you probably can't. But if I look up confused every once in a while, it's because they're blasting the music again. But with that, let us start with finished objects, neither of which you have actually seen started. Kind of. The first one I'll show is, this was the, I don't remember, February hat, and this is by Kate Gagnon. This yarn might look familiar when I put this next to it. I had been knitting a brioche hat, which I had cast on initially just to learn brioche so I could knit that shawl sweater I knit ages ago. And I was using these two colors of Knit Picks yarn. This is Knit Picks Wool of the Andes Sport, and the red is Papaya Heather, and then this is Thirst Heather. But I had originally combined these two together to make that hat, and I put it down and I haven't wanted to work on it, and I finally looked at it and I'm like, I really just don't like how these colors are working together. I'm not going to wear this. So I ripped it out. And then I proceeded to decide, well, I still want a hat. And the pom-pom maybe needs to be attached a little better, but whatever. But I knit the February hat. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. I believe it's also on Kelburn Woolens because it was their year of free hat patterns. And this was the February version. And it's really pretty. I really like it. This is the first time I ever did a provisional cast on. So that was kind of scary. But when I Googled how to just provisional crochet right onto the crochet hook and get rid of a step, it is the easiest thing ever, and it makes this thick double knit brim, which is so nice. I like it so much. I actually knit this longer than the pattern called for. Technically the decreases start at the top of this section here, and I actually added another section because I wanted it longer. I have a bun in my head, so this bun in my hair, so this is going to look a little funky, but excuse me, but like I said, it's going to look weird with the bun, but the bun is holding the pom-pom up. That's so hilarious. But you can laugh. But this is the hat. It's very warm. I really, really like it. I did put a faux fur pom-pom on top because I have that pack of faux fur pom-poms, so I'm going to use them as I go, but it's really cute. I really like it. I did block this to even out all the stitching and everything, and I think it looks beautiful. Let's see. I knit this on a US 3 and a US 4. So a 3.25 and 3.5 millimeter needle. And I really like it. It's really warm. I'm finally going to wear the crap out of this now because I don't have to show it on the podcast anymore. So I knit this I cast it on before we went on our trip, and I finished it on December 24th. So it only took me a few days. I got a lot of work done on that. So then I have a second finished object, and these are the Masonry Mitts. I didn't block these. I don't think I'll bother. These are, I didn't write down who these are by. Let me tell you quick. Let me pull up Ravelry. Maybe. My phone decided to be vocal. Alright, the Masonry Mitts are by Vera Brosgol, and it's a free pattern. They're worsted weight mitts. I knit these on US 4 3.5 millimeter and US 5 3.75 millimeter needles, and this is Camelot Dye Works. They're shield base in color berry. I've been holding on to this skein for forever, and basically, here, I've got like 20 layers on, but it's a long fingerless mitt with, you basically are seeing the opposite side of stockinette, or no, this is garter. This is garter. You're seeing garter, and it's just got this really pretty detail. I did knit some things a little longer, like the hand section I knit a little longer, because I wanted it to come up farther on my hands, but I think it came out perfect. And truthfully, I knit these to wear at work. Because I get really cold at work for whatever reason. It's been better since they fixed. There was a problem with the heating for a while, so it's been a little better. But when it starts to get really cold, like it does in these next few months, I freeze. So I have 2 sweaters there. I have a shawl and a blanket, and now I will have these. I do keep mitts in my backpack that I bring to work every day, and I figured these would be a nice addition, and they are so warm. This pattern is perfect for this yarn. This is a tweed yarn from Camelot Dye Works. It used to be a local to me dyer up in Calumet, Michigan. She does the most amazing yarn. So I finished these, and I finished these very quickly. I started these. I didn't do a Christmas Eve cast on. I did a Christmas Day cast on. And I finished these like the 28th, I think. So super fast. So I have 2 finished objects. Let me see, do I have anything else? No, those are my only finished objects. So then we'll move on to works in progress. You've seen this one many a time. Woo! There's little balls of yarn falling off of it because we have story time. This is the Weekender Light by Andrea Mowry. Did I just lose a stitch cap? Oh no, I lost the other thingy yarn. Weekender Light by Andrea Mowry. And I've started separating for the front and back, and I am currently working on the front. I had cast off the front last night thinking I was done, but I thought that the section looked pretty short for my size. I'm like, how are my arms going to go through there? But I'm trusting the process. Turns out I should have like really read through the pattern, because I got everything. I got the ribbing knit. I had bound off the neckline. And then I read the pattern and realized that I needed to knit 6 inches and not 3.25 inches for my size. And I'm like, that makes a lot more sense because this looked really small. So I immediately I had the brain space to do it. I ripped back, and I am to the point where I was to the solid section where I needed to knit another basically almost 3 inches. And I am working on that. This is Knit Picks. I believe it's Stroll Fingering. It's hand paint in the Renaissance colorway, so it's kind of a riot of color, but I don't mind it. I think it'll be fun to just wear around the house. You are seeing the back side right now because you knit it inside out so that you don't have to purl the entire sweater, which is fantastic. And then you obviously turn it right side out. But I am getting here. I'm getting there. I'm knitting this on US 3 and US 1. So 3.25 and I believe 1.25 millimeter needles. And I want to bring this yarn closer because I don't want Midnight to decide to come in here. Sorry for the close hair shot. My hair probably looks a little funky right now. I need to re-dye it. But, yeah. So this is the yarn I'm working with. I have 3 more full skeins, so I've got plenty. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I picked this up again last night and realized I was a lot farther than I thought I was, which was very nice. Very, very nice. But I'm really enjoying it. I do want to get this done soon so I can actually wear it while it's cold, because it's cold outside. In fact, my feet are freezing in here, but yeah. That is my week under light. That is arguably my biggest work in progress. I have put some solid work on my granny stripe. I have, but we're talking toe-up socks right now. My toe-up socks, and so I believe, yep, I was where the stitch marker was when I picked it up last. So I've knit a few inches on this already. So I have the first tube done. This is just my vanilla sock with an afterthought heel. This is knit out of Knit Picks Hawthorne fingering in Poseidon kettle dye and cattail kettle dye. And this is the same yarn that I used to knit my pink velvet. I couldn't remember which sweater it was last time, but it's Pink Velvet by Andre Maury. And I had so much left over. I'm just knitting socks. And these are going to be shorties. So the first tube is done. And I'm working on the second. So that is a very quick work in progress on those. These are knit on US 1.25 millimeter needles, and now I can move the stitch marker up so I can show how much I've actually done next time I will talk to you. So this is another work in progress. I have been working on this at work, but also I worked on it a little bit while I was out of town because it was a little easier to work on and chat with. So that is that. My last work in progress, I'm not really going to show it because I showed you guys last time, but my granny stripe blanket, I have like this much yarn left on the ball, and then I need to make another cake. I don't have another cake of yarn. But if you remember correctly, the last time I podcasted, I said I was going to wait until I had opened all of my Homespun House Advent yarn. And I have done that. So, we're just going to insert this here quick before I chat about upcoming cast-ons, but as you can see, I have, whoops, one tried to escape. Who tried to escape? Fa-la-la-la-la. Number 23. But I have a full advent of yarn in here, and I will insert some footage of all the colors. I did take some footage so you could see all of them out, but day 25 was cozied up at the fireplace. 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 407 yards, 100 grams. And it's this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It's like purples and browns, and it's got speckles, and it's so beautiful. And I like that it's muted because a lot of her advent calendar was bright, which I absolutely love. I love bright colors. And then she has some more moody colors as well. But I'm putting this into a blanket, and if they're all this, that's great, but it might look a little jarring compared to the beginning of the blanket when I was truly using scraps. So they weren't all neon. So I am going to use the 100-gram skein in the blanket as well. I know some people will knit projects specifically with this, like a sweater or something. They'll get a few advents from different dyers, which expensive, guys. And they'll basically knit a sweater or garment or something. And then they use this big skein of yarn, or I could use this big skein of yarn for something else, but really, I bought this to put in the blanket, and this yarn, I wasn't sure if I was going to use the 25th in it, the yarn, because it's a 100-gram skein, but I'm going to because it's muted, and it'll be perfect with all these bright colors to kind of tone it down and kind of blend it in with the rest of the blanket that I've done thus far. So, my granny stripe blanket is finally going to get some more love. And what I ended up doing is I just put the number of the day on the little tag. So if for some reason I needed to know what day it was, I don't know why, now that I'm just going to be picking from these randomly, but if for some reason I needed to know what day it was, I could tell, so I didn't have to keep the little bags around. And she did have some like little goodies in with these too, which I've already like dispersed or used. So yeah, that was my advent calendar. It was so much fun to open up. Even I brought the last few days up to Christmas with my family, and I got to open them up, and my family was interested too to see what colors came out. So this has been really fun. So that brings me into upcoming cast-ons. I did end up making those little holly berry ornaments for family and friends for Christmas. So I had shared that like as an aside, I think last episode. But it is a paid-for pattern, and it was like $3 on Ravelry, and I made them for my entire family. So yeah, I did that. Let's see. Upcoming cast-ons has kind of switched then to mainly I'm going to be working on, I want to knit a shawl, and then I bought sweater yarn, so I want to make sure I knit at least one sweater this year, which based off of this last year, how many sweaters I knit, that shouldn't be a problem. And then I have socks I need to cast on for Dad. So this is actually the first round. I thought I had the tag in here. Maybe not. But this is, oh, I don't have the tag. This is some Hobby Lobby Yarn Be Authentic hand-dyed tonal yarn that I caked up. And I'm going to pair it with, I think I'll pair it with some black for the heels and toes and cuffs. And I don't remember what color this is. I thought I had the tag in here, but I don't see the tag. So, unsure, unclear. I have one other place that this could be. Let's see if it's in here. Nope. No idea where the tag went, so I'm not sure what color it is, but it's a gray. And it's pretty. And I'll be working on that next. Yeah, and I want to knit a shawl. I've just kind of gotten the shawl bug. I just don't know what to knit yet, so we will see. With that, let's move to stash enhancements. I do have some because my lovely husband got me some yarn for Christmas. And then one that he bought me while we were out of town. I am ready to make something crazy, something bright. He bought me a bunch of Red Heart Super Saver. This is Neon Stripes. This is Polo Stripes. I'm assuming this is, yeah, just bright yellow. Pumpkin. And Bright Stripe. These two are my favorite. Yeah. But I don't know what I'm going to do with these yet. They might get turned into blankets, or they could get turned into all kinds of other projects, but they are so bright, and I always love having Red Heart Super Saver on hand, because honestly, I don't know that I'd make a blanket out of anything else. This is just so hard wearing, like why would you want to? So, I love Red Heart for that. And he also got me a Red Heart Fashion Crochet Thread Cotton. And this is number 3, so it's a little thicker, but actually, I was kind of interested in doing some macrame. Frankly, it's really thin, but there's a project I want to do that basically is like a little keychain. This might actually work better than macrame thread, because traditional macrame cord can be pretty thick. So maybe we'll use that. We'll see. So I did get some yarn for Christmas. Oh, I thought I found the tag. Yeah. NonKnit Loves. Well, I have a few things to show. One of them was kind of being in use. Thanks, Justin, for upping the quality of this podcast. He got me a little baby ring light for podcasting. Let me see. And and I need to share if I can find it. Of course I buried it. He got me Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. My mom and I would read this book together every year at Christmas. And I took a few years off where I didn't read it. And I read it again this year. And it's just very special. The copy that I have we would read from is just a Scholastic copy. And so he got me the Charles Dickens. It's basically a reproduction of the, with some embellishments, a reproduction of the original book. So it's got like the illustrations in it, which I've never seen, which is really cool. And it's a beautiful book. It's this like soft fabric covered book with a gold. It's the most beautiful book. So this will be what I am reading from now for a Christmas Carol every year. And I thought that's just so special. It's so special. The story has a soft spot in my heart because, like I said, Mom and I would read it every year because it's a really short book. And he got me this. So this is very special. I'm very excited for this. And he got me a few other books. I didn't know they turned a Dark Crystal and Labyrinth. They wrote them into as books later on, and he got me for those, and I'm so excited. Got me those. I'm so excited. But yeah. Oh, I should share this because there are some Doctor Who lovers out there who will absolutely love this. The box got a little schwitzig, but he got me Tori salt and pepper shakers. I didn't even know they existed, but it's so cool. So, yeah. But yeah, it was got a lot of fun things. Another thing I did want to share is I have actually actively been using my bullet journal for a few years now. I don't use it enough where I know some people use it enough that they have to use 2 bullet journals a year. I am not that. I can't do that. However, I am to the end of this, and let's see, this week is here, and then let's take this guy out. I have like this many pages left, so not too many before I have to start a new one. And traditionally I do draw a calendar and put it in here and then fill it out. And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, it takes a while to draw it in here. But you know, I thought it was worth it. However, thinking of having to put this entire calendar in here and then after a month or maybe a couple months move it over just didn't sound great to me. So I made this, and all I did was I went on to Illustrator and I made a grid. Let's see, I don't want to share any dates. Oh, this doesn't matter. I made a grid, and it was an open grid so that I could fill the dates and the months in. And then I did that. So I guess you could say it's cheating. Whatever. I didn't hand draw the grid, but I made the grid on Illustrator. And then I just put the dates in, so I can basically use this insert again if I wanted to. I saved the files, so if I want to do this again, I easily can. I printed it out onto paper, and then I made this cardstock cover for it. And then on the back, I have 2022 future dates. So this has been really handy. And I also made it specifically so it fits cleanly inside of my bullet journal, which has been fantastic because now I have my 2022 calendar, and when I switch bullet journals, I just take it out and put it in the next one. So that has been fantastic. Figured I'd share that because it's been so handy. We were rudely interrupted by my battery dying, but bullet journal, that insert has been the best. I'm excited because when I switch my bullet journal over, I won't have to move redraw the calendar, which is very, very appealing to me. And since I probably won't be switching out of that bullet journal, the new one for the all of 2022, I could frankly just like glue it in there then, but I probably won't. So that has been something that's super handy. Really like that. But with that, we'll just move on to life lately. Happy 2022. It's New Year's. It's the new year. Crazy. I feel like 2021 was a blur. We just got back from Christmas. We got to go visit with family up in Houghton, in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, which was really fun. We got to celebrate there and visit family and just all of the things. So that was really great. And yeah, then I came back. I got vacation for Christmas, so I got a few extra days besides what we would traditionally get. And then we came back, had a short work week, and then a long weekend. At least I did. Justin had to work, but so it was really nice. I've had this weekend plus yesterday to just kind of catch up on things and rest as we go into the new year, which has been very nice. I have baked 2 loaves of sourdough. 2 loaves of sourdough, 2 loaves of bread, 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 I finally, I started my sourdough starter on January 1st, 2021. And I had some twists and turns. I had one that kind of failed and I had to restart it. But I've been consistently keeping sourdough starter the entire year. And for whatever reason, I had started keeping it in the fridge because it was warm and I wasn't really baking sourdough because our AC wasn't working. So I pulled it out of the fridge to like reactivate it and keep it on the counter. And for whatever reason, that's what it needed to just make it go nuts. So my sourdough starter is very happy now. And last night I baked a loaf of bread. And I was going to say that's the most successful loaf of bread I've ever baked. And then I baked another one this morning because I wanted to put the one I baked last night in the freezer because I ate that. And it freezes well. And it's really nice to have a loaf of sourdough in the freezer for when you want it and you can't bake it. So I baked another one this morning. And arguably that one is better than last night's even. So perhaps 2022 will be the year of fantastic sourdough bread. So that was kind of fun. I'm trying to think anything else. Not really. I have rambled quite a bit. I have put my camera through the ringer with changing a battery and using a maximum file size. And I'm just looking around to make sure I got everything. If I didn't, I'll share it next episode. So with that, I hope you have had a wonderful 2021 and a wonderful holiday season. And I hope that 2022 is full of blessings. Just a reminder, you can find me on Instagram as Tori Schaffner. I'm on Ravelry as lilwestie. I am on Facebook, just not as active there. You can find the show notes at woolymastodon.wordpress.com. And of course, you can find me here on YouTube. If you like this video, please like it, subscribe, share it with your friends, comment below. I'd love to grow this little community on the interwebs. And with that, I hope you have a wonderful couple weeks ahead, and I will see you in my next episode. Bye!